Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with my dad on the 12 steps to the 12 most important days to beginning the Hcg diet. I'm having him kind of elaborate on what the steps are, and I'm going to read them off for you guys, just so you guys can have a better idea of what to do when you want to get started on this diet and why it's so important.
And let's focus on the actual title of that, 12 most important days. Whenever I did my radio show covering this topic, 12 most important days of each diet protocol, people kind of flipped out, like, what do you mean you're there for, you're doing it for 30, 50, 75 a day, what do you mean it's 12 days? Well, I told them the 12 days, the most important days you're going to find out are the 12 days before even starting the protocol. A lot of you guys, if you ordered a complete kit or you ordered your Hcg from the pharmacy, it takes about 10 to 14 days to get there, and people don't realize that those are very valuable days you can actually use to get yourself ready for transformation. So we'll go through them. All
right. So day one, do your research and determine which protocol you're going to follow, then stop researching.
All right. There's a lot of people, one of the reasons they fail at this protocol is because they get information overload. You know, they have the original Dr. Simeon's protocol that was put out there over 50, 60 years ago. You have Kevin Trudeau's revised protocol, and then you have Hcg Diet for Life, which is our most recent up-to-date protocol. All of them are great. We did find some flaws with them, and we also did complete the process. For example, Dr. Simeon's protocol, he talks about phase 1 and phase 2, losing the weight, but that didn't really give you any guidelines for phase 3. Neither did Kevin Trudeau give you any guidelines how to stabilize your weight and how to go back eating normally. In Hcg Diet for Life, not only did we cover phase 1 and phase 2, made some modifications, but we also gave you a complete step-by-step phase 3, how to stabilize, and phase 4, how to eat for life. So the reason why I say pick a plan, because some people choose to, they're in between two or three plans, and they're following one part of it and they're following ours, and it causes you a lot of problems. So do your research, find out whatever protocol you're comfortable with, and then stick to that protocol.
All right. Day 2, read the original Dr. Simeon's protocol to get a clear understanding of why this protocol works virtually 100% of the time.
It's really important that you actually read Dr. Simeon's original manuscript explaining why this protocol is different from any weight loss protocol or diet you've been on in your entire life. You know, you're basically are using a peptide or a hormone to reset your hypothalamus, which controls your weight set point, controls how tall you were supposed to be, what size, how big you were supposed to be, how much you were supposed to weigh, your eye color. And so all of us have a predestined weight, our natural body weight. And what happens is, by eating our Western diet, we knock it out of whack. By reading Dr. Simeon's protocol, he explains why scientifically how this works, why it works, and why it'll work for you, and a lot of the medical ailments that people have and how they tend to go away or they're reversed once you detox your body. So it's really important you read the protocol.
All right, day 3. Choose your big why for starting this diet. And I think this is a very important part of the process.
You really need to know why this time you're going to succeed. If you're here watching this video right now, I'm sure you've tried a diet before, and either it's failed you or you failed it. And usually it's because you don't really know the reasons why you're doing it. You want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? Well, you really need to get personal. You need to figure out what your pain threshold is. You need to understand why you're suddenly done this time, because it's not the diet that's going to fail you. This diet works 100% of the time if you follow it. The problem what gets in the way is the mind, your past failures, your relationships, your impulse eating, the triggers, the things that set you off and have you binging when you don't know why. So until you get a clear picture of why you're taking this journey, it's really important. This is a spiritual journey more than it is a weight loss journey. So you really need to know what your why is.
All right, day 4. Find an Hcg Diet mentor, a support group. Reach out and connect to that resource to see if you share the same philosophies.
Now this is challenging for some people, because people have a hard time asking for help, and sometimes, we as a species really weren't designed to go it alone. I mean, since the beginning of time, there's always been a tribe. People are usually a member of some sort of group or support group, and so what happens is when you're on this journey, you isolate yourself, and you don't let people understand why it's important to you, where you're going to need help along the way. Getting together with a group of people. There's tons of forums out there where you have like-minded people going towards the same goal. It makes it easier for you to achieve. When you try to do it yourself, which you can, there's a lot of people who have been successful, but my thing is, realize where you're going to get support from. Tell your husband, your spouse, your significant other, explain to your children what you're going to be doing, why it's important for you to succeed this time, because if they're not on the same page, you can find some backlash and find it difficult for you to stay focused on your goal.
All right. So day 5, create a game plan for success. What are your triggers? Ask yourself, why do you eat what you eat? Okay. Be honest with yourself and your family and friends.
Yeah, we just touched on that.
Okay.
A lot of times, I mean, it's important that you have to have a game plan in place. In other words, what could possibly get in the way of your success? Look back in your past. What got in your way before? When I first did this protocol with my wife, we made the choice of actually almost isolating ourselves from the things that could throw us off our game. We got invites to weekend parties and to go out for cocktails and things that if you put yourself in those environments, it's going to be difficult. If you don't, like I said, talk to your spouse, your significant other, and explain to them where by being in the size you are right now, or being in the being the weight you are right now, or having the medical the ailments and the pains, where that causes you emotional pain and why it's important for you to do this. If you get people on the same page, they can actually help you because they understand why you're doing it and how serious you are about getting to your goal.
Okay. Day 6. What does your game plan look like? What solutions do you have you come up with to overcome those obstacles?
So I tell people, seriously, if you don't realize that, always life happens, right? You realize, I was doing really well, I was going along, I was losing, and then all of a sudden got in a fight with my boyfriend, or I got mad at my boss, and next thing you know, I wanted to eat a cheeseburger. Or we had a corporate event that I had to go to because I'm the manager and I got to be there. These things, I got all kinds of excuses that I've coached people along the way. I've heard. But if you look in your calendar, you see that you have a luncheon coming up in 2 weeks. There's a way for you to navigate around it. You can always either cancel it or prepare to eat your lunch ahead of time, and then go to that event and have like a salad. I mean, you have to look at your social calendar and see which things are absolutely necessary and which things you can actually pass up on. Because think about it, everyone's going to always have another birthday. It's always going to be another time to go out and party or hang out with your friends. Ultimately, this is about you. It's about you can't succeed if you put yourself last. You have to put yourself first, and you got to put your desire to transform your body as a priority. You have to make it a priority.
Okay. Day 7, determine if you have a support system. Who is going to help you, and how are they going to help you reach your goal? Will you allow them to hold you accountable? I know having you guys watch my channel definitely holds me accountable.
Absolutely.
Even when I think about wanting to eat something, I'm like, oh, can't do it, because I have you guys. But go ahead.
Yeah, when you have people that are going to be, when you put yourself on blast, by Vanessa saying, look, I'm going to do this protocol again, I'm going to film, my process, my progress, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. She's put herself on blast, so you guys are holding her accountable. What happens when you not only tell people that you're going to be making this change, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you will have some people that are going to come out, well-meaning people, they're people that love you the most sometimes. But they may come out, well, you really don't need to lose weight. You're going to be starving yourself. You're going to get a lot of negative energy. So you want to get the people that that you can confide in, that are going to support you, and the ones that aren't going to support you, don't feel will support you right away. Don't worry. Within 2 weeks, 10 days on the protocol, they'll be begging you to tell you what you are doing because you're looking so good, you're dropping so much weight. So try to choose your battles wisely. Bring the people into your circle of influence that love and support you, and leave the ones that are going to be negative energy, the energy vampires I call them, leave them on the outside. Don't tell them about your business until they start asking you what you're doing, and they will. I can promise you that.
All right, we kind of talked about this one a little bit, or you talked about it a little bit. Day 8, look into the future. What's on your social calendar? Right. And are there any obvious landmines? Yeah, we talked about it, but I'll add a little caveat to that. Don't set yourself up for failure. Trying to start the protocol 4 days before Super Bowl, it's probably a bad idea. Super Bowl Sunday is a big get-together for a lot of men and women. It's a big party. Trying to do the diet during the holidays or right before your birthday, or that you're going to be putting yourself in a situation that's going to be very challenging for you to get past that right before Thanksgiving or Easter. Those are great holidays to load on. I always tell people those are great times to start your protocol because you can use those holidays to load. But look in your future and make sure there's not something sitting right out, 10 days into your game plan that can throw you off your game plan. Yeah, because that does happen. Day 9, how do you plan to implement the diet?
And this is important. In other words, if you have a job, if you have a busy life, you have kids, you have soccer practice, you have to prepare in advance how to deal with these events. So you want to prepare your foods as far as your portions of your, this is a very specific portions with this protocol. So you want to, weigh them out ahead of time. Put your portions together in the freezer so you can bring them out easily. Make sure that you're not caught without your food, in the middle of the day going to an event where you're taking your kids to soccer and now you have 3 or 4 hours and you're starving and the only option you have is the concession stand. These are psychological things that people don't think about that set you up for failure. So you want to make sure that you've laid out, if you have a job, when you're gonna, what food you're gonna bring for lunch, what snack you're gonna bring, prepared that you're gonna get home in time for dinner. If you just think about it ahead of time and kind of give yourself a little roadmap, your odds of increasing your success go up 110%.